Unconventional Thanksgiving holiday.
Last week, me and 6 of my friends decided to go to Vegas for a girls' trip. I turned 21 in November 6th, so we decided to go as a trip to celebrate my birthday and their birthdays because they were just together. When we got there, we decided to go to Britney Spears, and as we were at Britney Spears, we looked down and we see Beyonce and Jay-Z sitting right underneath us. So we were looking at them and everything, and the girl in front of us was not very happy about us looking at them because we were kind of leaning over them. So my friend decided that it would be smart of her to take her heel off and almost stab the girl with her shoe, which she thought it was funny, and she said, "I'm going to stab her with my Louis Vuitton in the back of the head." So that brought the cops over there, and the people in front of us actually got better seats to Britney, closer down. They ended up escorting my friend out of the hotel, or out of the Britney Spears concert, into the elevator up to our room. They get up to our room, and they decide to ask her what her name was because she did not have a key into our room. She said her name was Paige, which our hotel name was only in mine and my other friend's name. So they decided that she was not any longer able to stay in the hotel at all. So she ends up passing out on the ground while I go down there to try to get us a new key because we don't have a key anymore. So as I'm downstairs getting a new key to the room, my friend ends up having an accident on herself before we could get her into the room. We get up there, she's passed out on the floor, has had an accident on herself, and we had to get her up and get her into the room. That was my trip to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how many times I messed up?
11.
Crap!
You at first it was a lot, but then you could tell that it got
better?
a lot better.
Okay.
Even like your movements and everything got a lot
Okay, was that as jittery as I was last time?
I don't think so.
I'm so jittery. I'm so nervous. I'm so camera shy.
You want me to go or do you want to go?
I know. I did catch you. You were like staring at the ceiling up
I
there. I was like, what's she
know.
looking at?
And then I'll look back down and go, and then I'll be like, oh.
She's not even noticing my hands today. They're under my pockets. Okay, so yesterday I was coming home from home. I live in Missouri. My older sister was driving in front of me because we drove separately. And there's an exit you're supposed to get off on after Springfield to go to Kabul. Well, she was in front of me driving, and I'm like, okay, she knows where she's going. She's done it quite a few times, and I'm just sitting there going. Well, she's not getting over to get off on the exit. So I was like, okay, whatever, maybe she knows a different way. So I got off, and then I was like, okay, maybe she'll call me. Noticed that she missed the exit. She didn't call, so I called her, and I'm like, hey, where are you going? She's like, I'm going home. I was like, no, you're not. You just missed the exit. She's like, no, I didn't. I know where I'm going. I was like, no, you really just missed the exit. She's like, no, I don't believe you. So I was like, okay. I was like, you're going towards Branson. And then she finally saw a sign, and she's like, okay, yep, I believe you. So I had to pull over on the side of the road and wait for her. It took her about another 10, 15 minutes because she had already drove so far. She didn't want to believe me that she was going the wrong way. So then I had all this traffic driving by me because it was really busy. Obviously, there's a bunch of people going home. And so she caught up to me, and she pulled in front of me, and she stopped, and she goes, I have to pee. I was like, okay, well, we're like literally 45 miles from the next gas station. So I then pulled my car closer to hers, and we opened up all the doors on the far side away from the road, and she peed on the side of the road. So then we got going again, and then my mom called. She's like, hey, where are you guys at? And I told her, and she's like, well, you guys left a long time ago. You should be a lot further than that. So I explained the story to my mom, and, well, point being, my mom is no longer letting me follow my sister. So,
All right.
yeah.
Good.
I only noticed, like, you would say, well, so, or so well.
Yeah.
So
that's,
well.
that's the only thing. Like you would say. Well, and sometimes you were saying it like how you were using dialogue between your sister and I, or y'all, and then. But like you said, a lot of times you would just say that. But
Yeah.
I didn't notice much of it.
And I think I did this too. And I noticed like a lot of when you're saying it. I did that. I think I did that too because I'm not sitting. I did it.
Well, this is tough because we just come up with it
Yeah.
right off the top of our heads, and then you're trying to piece this story together. I think if we thought it out, we could probably tell these stories a little better. But
Yeah.
I think
hard.
we're all improved though. Let's see, it went black. Did it come back on?
Is it back on?
Last Wednesday, I got off work at 8 o'clock. I called my friends, and apparently we had some old buddies that were in town for Thanksgiving. We were all going to hang out that night, so I got home. We were sitting around having a few drinks. We decided, after sitting there and being bored, that we would drive to Tunica for the night. So we loaded up, 5 of us. We went down to Tunica. We had a short meal at IHOP in South Haven. It was really good. Had pancakes and bacon. Then we went to the Gold Strike. I played the free spin slots, the penny slots. That's kind of my thing. I like to just spend a little bit of money. Actually, 5 minutes into spinning, I hit a free spin on Max Bet off $20 and won $600. After that, I took that to the roulette table and ended up winning another $300 or $400 and then cashed out. I'd lost my friends at that time, so I went and looked for them. Two of my friends had lost $200 or $300, and then my other buddy was up about $500 or $600. And then we couldn't find our last friend for about 3 hours when we were all ready to go. About 2 or 3, I think is what it was. So we were going. We went around. We had to ask a security guard, and he said, "It's not the guy wearing an orange shirt, is it?" And we said, "Actually, it is." Apparently, he'd went up to the club that you have to pay and just left the gambling floor, and was pretty drunk, I guess you would say, and was just making a fool out of himself, spilled a couple drinks and everything like that. So long story short, we had to go find him in the club, bring him out, and then drive him home. I think we got home about 4 or 5 in the morning. So it was an unconventional night before Thanksgiving, but we all made it to dinner and lunch the next day. So good time.
Gosh, I did horrible. You only did it like 6 times.
Turn that around now.
Okay.
Yeah. You only did it like 6 times, and when you would do it, like it would just be like so. It was mainly so.
Yeah.
And another thing is, here, let's get closer together. Here, I'll move this all the way back here. Hi. Okay, and you were looking up too a little.
Yeah.
You
I
hold
noticed.
your hand like
I
this.
did.
Yeah.
I had them together. I was like, oh, I gotta put them down. So.
Okay. So we already did the. Here, do you have it up on your phone?
Yeah.
We already did the stuff that we were supposed to with the attention getters and the tie-ins and everything like that. So we're just going to talk about it to one another, tell one another what we just decided to write down, and we're going to compare and contrast it now. I'm so jittery in front of the camera. Okay, you have it?
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, the attention getter. Let's start with you.
With mine?
Yeah.
Okay, I chose the C, why people should vote in the next election.
Okay.
My attention getter would be, did you know that $2.6 billion was spent in the last presidential election between Obama and Romney, and they expect between $4 and $6 billion will be spent on the presidential election alone in the coming 2016 election. That'd be my attention getter because that's a huge amount of money to be spent on someone just being elected. It's grown a lot since Citizens United in 2008. So I think it shows the influx of money in politics. Just kind of throwing that out there to kind of get their attention on leading them into why they should vote next election. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's compare and contrast. Or do we want to do
we
to
should probably
everybody?
do-
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Okay. You want to go or do you want me to?
I can go. I did. I think it was B on the how to create an amazing sandwich. My attention getter would be: are you tired of basic sandwiches or sandwiches from the calf? Because I know I don't like sandwiches from the calf.
Do you want to do our times right now too? Did you do your time?
I don't think I did the time. I think I just did the outline. Or like
We come back and do all the times and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. My attention getter is a little out there. I gotta stand up for it. Y'all ready for this? Okay. You're ready. There. Oh, I did A. The history of Arkansas State University. Okay, so here's my attention getter. There once was a story all about how ASU got switched upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you how we became the Red Wolves and why you care.
Okay, good. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Okay, so I'll go with my tie-ins. So my tie-in, because I mean my attention getter is like a little out there, and you'd be like, okay. So my tie-in was before ASU was known as the Red Wolves, they were also known as 4 other mascots.
Okay, tie that in. Cheers.
Mine would be boring or basic sandwiches get old very quickly, but amazing sandwiches never do.
Okay, and then after I listed off the number about how much to spend the elections, I would just go into the really only way to beat the influx of money in politics is for each and every citizen to go out and vote. Let's see.
Okay, let's compare and contrast. Okay, how we did everything.
Okay.
Okay. So like I feel like all of ours are like really different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like our attention getters, like mine's very like out there. Yours is very like statistical, and yours is very like
Relatable.
yeah,
You know,
relatable.
personable.
Mhm.
What about like the times? I think that's good. Like I like the sandwich. It kind of gives you more incentive to keep listening.
Yeah.
You know. And
Mhm.
then yours kind of obviously you brought the excitement with the attention getter, so that got it. And then you kind of said used it to explain the brief history, or you're gonna lead into it. So
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty good.
You
So.
kind of took it like serious.
Yeah.
Like that, and then like
Yeah.
straight to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do your time
Yeah. I was
Okay.
saying that the only way
yeah.
to beat it is for citizens to
Yeah,
go
you're
out and
right.
vote, so.
yet? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just feel like they were like very different, but they were all very like. I think it would depend on like the audience. Like I feel like your audience would have to be someone like in, like you're doing a speech, you would want to do it in front of like a college or something. Since
Yeah.
you're talking about
People
the
out on
yeah.
their own that would
You
make
would probably
fun.
want to do yours on someone that's or like a community or something.
Yeah.
And I'd probably want to do mine on younger adults for sure.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the next part? The next part was the outlines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Main points.
Yeah. I just kind of put these together. I tried to. I don't know. There's a lot you could obviously talk about why people should go vote, but my outline I put. I've got my my 3 points that I would put. This is a big one. The next president will appoint 2, maybe 3 Supreme Court justices, and I would go into the significance of the Supreme Court justice, because anything that's controversial in the country will eventually get to them. Gay marriage, legalization of marijuana, anything you can think of will get to them at some point. And the president appointing them obviously will appoint someone left or right, whatever their viewpoint. And I think that's a big point, because we will have a lot that are coming out in the next 4 to 8 years. Second point, I just put a lot of key issues will be decided at the local, state, and federal level. The legalization of marijuana, the wealth inequality, the perpetual state of war that we're in, fighting war constantly, the money in politics, minimum wage, climate change. Those are just some of the issues that a lot of politicians are really going to have to be on top of, and to know what they want to do coming that next election. And then the final point, which kind of leads to my main attention getter, I put where most states are moving towards ballot measures to expose dark money or significantly reduce the amount of money in politics. Arkansas did this last election. Just reduces the amount of money individuals are allowed to put in there. So I would just, all those are big issues, and I think that I would just try to tie all this into like showing people the significance is if you don't vote, then the people, the big money or the establishment, the man, whatever you want to call it, they win in the end if people don't use their right to vote. So.
Yeah. Well, I put mine as, because like I'm basing my speech mainly on how ASU became the Red Wolves and And so I'm going to, throughout my speech, I'm going to get started out because we were the Aggies first and then the Guerrillas, Warriors, Indians, Red Wolves. So I'll start out, and I would tell, a little about the Aggies and tell, like, major events that happened and why they ended up changing it, because there was a reason why they changed it from every single mascot.
Mhm.
So, and then, I probably, since it's more of a recent event, I'd probably tell more, like, a little bit more about the Indians and the Red Wolves, because a lot of people that are still here today, still are either bitter or happy towards the Indians and the Red Wolves, the name change. So, I'd probably spend a little bit more time on that one, but for the main part, I would tell, about it, the major events that happened, why they were probably changing, and why they changed.
Okay.
For mine, I would do, like, obviously what you're gonna need to make the sandwich. And then obviously I'll go into more depth about, like, what you really prefer and what I prefer on a sandwich. And the second would be actually making it, putting it all together, how much of everything you should actually have. And then lastly, I would put, like, how to eat the sandwich perfectly, since it's such an amazing sandwich.
Mhm.
You gotta cut it just right,
Mhm.
and then eat one half at a time.
There you go.
So,
Okay, let's compare and contrast. Okay, so I think for the most part, like, all of ours were about the same. Like, not including the first one, like how we did the first part, but I feel like how we did this, like, the 3 main points, I feel like we're all, like, basically, like, staying with our topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We all kept it on there, and it had the.
mhm.
It might be a little
Like
different, but they're
mhm.
all tied into the thing.
About the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's Mars is just mainly about this. Yours is just mainly about just an amazing sandwich, and
Yeah.
it's just mainly about election. Like,
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Let's see. What else? Sorry, my phone keeps locking. Let's see. I'll write down how you would conclude each speech in an outline format. So, think of a really good clincher to end for each.
Okay, like, I would probably end mine by, like with the Indians and Red Wolves and all the things that happened with that, like, I'd probably end mine by saying more about, like, my clinch would be, what do you think the next mascot name will be? Because I would probably end it, like, every mascot name, there's going to be something throughout time that's going to be a reason for it to change, because that's how most mascots are. There's very few of them that are the same since years ago.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that made my clinch was, what do you think the next mascot name will be?
Okay.
I put for my clincher, because can't really do it any other way, but say what amazing sandwich will be made next.
There you go. Kind of leave them hanging on.
Oh yeah.
All right. I guess I would conclude by kind of reiterating about how the money has increased over the last 8 years because of the Supreme Court decision. Kind of hit back over the topics to kind of remind them again. And then I guess the clincher, I hadn't really thought of anything. I was just, I guess I would remind them that there was a lot of people that have died and fought for our right to vote, and that we should be thankful in this country that we do have that right, because there are plenty of other countries around the world that don't have that. They have an oligarchy or communism or whatever. They don't have the choices that we get. Obviously, there's corruption within the money and politics and stuff like that, but the only way to get it out is to go vote. So I'd probably end on like a real serious note, but it's kind of a serious topic. So
Okay, when we're comparing and contrast, I feel like ours are about the same. Like, leave it on with like a question, hanger, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yours is very like more like the ending is very like you think, like
yours gets
you need to think
thinking,
about
like,
think about this. Sorry, I'm stopped up.
yeah,
But it's like you need to think about this, so it'll leave people like thinking, like
kind of leave them a little. I don't know,
like maybe I should vote because I'm one of those
kind of
that
make
don't
them
vote.
feel bad that if they
Yeah.
don't vote or if they usually don't,
Yeah.
It doesn't take 5-10 minutes to look up who's receiving money from who and just make your decision, go vote.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, is it all?
I think so. I think that was the last part.
Okay.